Okay, so this is my presentation on spinal cord, spinal nerves, and reflexes. So I'm going to be talking about the spinal cord overview as well as spinal nerves and reflexes. And then I also have an article from ProQuest, a research article, and then takeaways. So spinal cord, so an overview, spinal cord by definition is a tube of neural tissue. The vertebrae protects the spinal cord, that's why it has little holes in it so the spinal cord can go through it. And it helps conduct messages between the brain and the body, and it is known as the central reflex center. So spinal nerve. Okay, for the spinal nerves overview, we have 31 total pairs, with each pair serving a specific region of the body. They're located on each side of the spine, and they form a nerve. They have two endings, which I'll talk about later. And they have motor and sensory fibers, and there's three types of connective tissue. Loose connective tissue surrounding the axons, loose connective tissue surrounds the fascicles, and dense connective tissue that surrounds the fascicles. Okay, so here's just a picture of the connective tissue coverings. You can see all three of them down here, as well as the Schwann cells, the myelin sheath, the axons, and everything. And then for the spinal nerve roots, there's two parts of them. The ventral roots control the motor, so they carry signals from the brain to the body, and they contain the axon of the motor neurons. And the dorsal roots are the sensory motor neurons, and they contain the axons for the sensory neurons. And then there's also the dorsal root ganglia, which contain the cell bodies of the sensory neurons. Next, I'm going to talk about reflexes. So by definition, it's categorized as a quick automatic nerve response triggered by specific stimuli. So when you're at the doctor's and they use the reflexors to test your reflexes, that's considered a reflex. And spinal reflexes are pretty similar. They're controlled by the spinal cord without needing input from the brain. So like dropping a hot pan, you do that by accident, you let go of it, it's a reflex. For my research article, I chose a treatment option for the spinal cord, for spinal cord injuries. It's about regeneration of the axons and the myelin sheath. And obviously this is relevant to my topic because it talks about how to repair spinal cord injuries using the nerve roots that I talked about in the previous slides. And there's a picture from the actual article, research article, on the right. And my final takeaways. The spinal cord is essential for our movement and nerves throughout the body. Spinal cord injuries can be permanent because of the damage to the astrocytes and the glial cells. It can also form scars within the glial cells, which can restrict your movement since they're needed for movement. And regeneration of both axons and myelin sheath can help prevent the severity of spinal cord injuries. And here's the article with a link.